so much. And with that, I bring you myself and Michelle. We're going to be talking a little bit together. So, Michelle Lee Angiolillo, there's a mouthful.
Took me forever to spell it. You should have seen it first. If somebody stopped me in between, I had to start all over again. I'd be like A-N-G, and they'd say something, and I'd be like, oh, come on now. Like Mississippi.
Sorry, go ahead. Actually, you know what? I'm going to try to see if I can change this. I don't know if I can. There we go. Now you get both of us. We're going to be talking about these beauties. Right, Michelle?
Yeah, absolutely. And Lori's talk is a perfect lead-in for us.
Right? Everything's a perfect lead-in for us. What are you talking about? We're Aquarians. We're both Aquarians. We met in Maryland, in Rockville, right? At a conference, CLA, Jose Escobar. There we are mentioning you. Jose is one of my sponsors, so I should be mentioning him anyways. So these beauties, I know, right? These beauties are what we're all about.
Mine are in the wrong place today. There we go.
Mine are in my order, and you know what? We both have the same order. So you know what? Actually, I'm going to let you speak while I fix and rename myself here. Michelle, tell us why you like bank codes so much.
It is the foundation for life. It is the foundation for everything. Every single human in the world has a code, and we call it bank. Sherry Tree created this beautiful methodology that is life-changing, business-changing, and will literally skyrocket everything you do. So every single human has a code. It's a 4-digit PIN. And when you unlock someone's code, you unlock their operating system, their buying behavior, their human behavior. Like, why do they do the things they do? So when Lori was talking about how using AI, and because it sounds cool, and how it might not be your authentic self, right? It can make your sales a little harder. Because here's the thing. Each one of these codes speaks a completely different language, right? Now, if you speak Spanish and I learn how to speak Spanish, am I still my authentic self, Marianne?
I think so.
Am I still me if I'm speaking Spanish to you?
Yeah.
I just changed the language, right? I just learned how to speak your language.
That's all.
That's what bank teaches. You're still your authentic self, but you're learning how to communicate effectively with all the different types of people, which increases your sales, increases your conversion rate, and it changes all the relationships around you. Because what do you think makes people know, like, and trust you? Have you ever met that person where you automatically connect, like me and Marianne in Maryland, right? Well, look at our bank codes. They align. So when you meet that person that's just like you, your values align, you know, like, and trust them right out of the gate. Me and Marianne were like, what? You're like my best friend. Like, let's hang out, right?
And from a spiritual point of view, it was my long lost sister from God knows which past life. We were probably twins or something, because it was too much. Like, it was too easy to connect.
Exactly. And if you look at our codes, right, they align.
We think
but when you meet someone whose values don't align with yours, and they come from a different place and they speak a different language or bank code, that's when the disconnect happens. It's like you break open a vial of vinegar. You're like, I don't want to hang out with this person. You're not my people. But what if we could understand how to look through the world in a different lens? Oh, what if we could see the other person's perspective and say they spoke Spanish, be able to change the way we communicate so that everybody understands us? Yes.
I only have these in a color.
Well, I have a special package for you when you get here, and you're going to get some.
And while we're here, I'm just going to mention that I am going to Pennsylvania for the first time in my life. I'm going to Michelle's house because, you know, we're twins and we need some us time. But we are going to be working a Christmas show, and we're going to be holding a seminar. What are we calling it? Relationships and communication?
Or yeah, something like that.
Something.
I haven't come up with a name yet, but it's going to be about relationships and communication.
And my next summit will be on relationships that matter. That's the name.
Yes.
So, it's going to be important. This is going to be for communication and relationships, because you have relationships everywhere you go. And if you think you don't, I'm not sure what you're thinking, because you have relationships at work, you have relationships with your clients, you have relationships with your friends, with your people at home, with your kids, with your mates, with your friends, with your cousins, with your extended family, with your neighbors. You have a relationship. Whether it's good or bad, that's up to you, but you do have one.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. And everything comes down to that communication piece, because how many times have you been in a conversation, goes into an argument, and you're like, that's what I was trying to say, but you just spent half an hour of your life you'll never get back arguing about something because you were coming from different perspectives, different languages, different bank codes. And so that's what we're able to unlock in less than 90 seconds with tools, training, and state of the art technology, and even in AI, where you're able to write in all of the different codes. Now, the key is you write in that code, but you need to learn how to speak it, right? So people are taking AI and they're putting the messaging out there. Maybe they're showing up different than they are. And then somebody else comes and attracts to that message. And then they show up on the call and they're speaking, French to somebody who speaks German.
Mm-hmm.
And then poof, that sale is dissolved. And now they're working with Karen down the street, Marianne. They're working with Karen. No offense, Karen. We love you.
I do have a Karen later on coming on. So but she's my social media girl and I love her to pieces, and she's lovely and she's super sharp. It really is. And just back to AI for a minute, you've got to be careful with AI. Is really there to enhance us and to make life easier for us. It's not there instead of us. That's all. This isn't instead of anything. This is just to enhance what we already have. So it's going to enhance your relationship. It's going to make it easier. It's so much more easier if we understand each other and why we're doing the things we're doing, people. This will help.
Marianne, right. So Marianne, this morning, right, I go downstairs and I was like, hey, John, where are the stamps? Because I had them in my wallet, right? And the other day he had been looking for stamps. He's like, the stamps aren't here. I'm like, oh, I have some. They're in my wallet, right? He's like, they're not where they're supposed to be. And I was like, oh, yeah. All right. So John is blueprint. He has a structure, a process, very organized. Everything has to be in its place, blah, blah, right? So I go downstairs this morning and I was like, I have to mail some things. Where's the stamps? And he goes, on the shelf where they're supposed to be. And I was like, spoken like a true blueprint. And there they were, right where they were supposed to be.
You got to love blueprints, though. They're so organized, and we're maybe we're not the most organized out of all four cards.
I mean, not really. No, blueprints kind of last.
The least organized.
Yeah, I mean, we have our ways.
But I function very well, and I mean, I run more than one business. I have three. Oh my gosh, I have three businesses that are MLMs. I have three that are my own, and I have way more that are my own. And I do all kinds of things on the side. So I can juggle like nobody's business. And I'm 63. I'm going to be 64 in February. So if I can do it, you can do it. But some people just cannot. Like I had this conversation with someone and they're like, oh, I do two things. I really don't have time. I'm like, wait till you hear what I do.
Well, and Marianne, you're like a rock star, right? And every time you say you're 63, I'm like, there's no way. There's no way.
Aging backwards, people, aging backwards.
Blows me away.
But look who's talking. How old do you think Michelle is? She could pass for her 30s, easy breezy parcheesi. Same thing with Lori. I'm not going to say I know approximately how old everyone is. Well, I know.
I'm 53.
Doesn't she look like she could easily pass for 33? I get a lot. I still get a lot of late 40s on a really good day if they're looking at me on camera and I've got makeup like this. I don't know what happened here. But yeah, and they don't see the wrinkles. I can get like a 43, 44, 45. So like 20 years, which is really, that's not realistic, but I easily can get 10 to 12 years younger. And I love that. I love that.
Well,
You know what? I'm going to
Mary,
tell you that I feel better at 63 than I did at 53.
well, Marianne, I got to give you a huge plug because, and a shout out, because these little magical things are amazing. And let me just tell you real quick, my hair has grown like nobody's business, and my wrinkles are like going away. My skin is just glowing. I cannot tell. I went to get my hair cut, and the last time I went before this time, the girl cut it like really short. And I was like, and John was like, what the hell? I was like, I don't know. I don't know what happened. I said, just trim it, right? But anyway,
That's what we do.
so I was taking the drops consistently that are delicious, let me tell you.
Mm-hmm.
And the next time I went back, she was like, what have you been doing? Your hair it grew so fast. And I was like, I know. It's magic. Magic candy.
See, and we're going to be talking about the candies a little later, but I do have two of them that are exceptional for hair. So the Grow, which is meant for the immune system and it boosts your immune system. And in 2020, it did win an award out of 423 products for best immune booster in the world. Okay. And it tastes good. But that particular product will actually grow new hairs. And sometimes I have to spray them down because they look like this. And if you're on a Zoom, you look like you're a fuzz head. Like it just looks like on the picture. And so I have to actually use hairspray, which I hate using, or something or cream or something. I got to put something into the hair to get those out of the way. The other one is BTY, which is for beauty and collagen in your skin and inside and outside collagen and everything. That one makes your hair silkier. So for me, Miss Menopause over here, I was starting to get really dry, especially like this spot right here. And I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my God, look at my hair. There's no dry spots anymore.
Do you know what else I noticed? My skin is really soft.
Mm-hmm. Soft and supple.
Yeah, like I didn't even moisturize today, and I'm like smooth as a baby's bottom.
And less wrinkles for sure. And also all of the products are designed to take down inflammation. So we have an actual anti-inflammatory. I spent all night last night talking about this. I did a trade show inside of a scalar clinic and it was absolutely amazing. I mean, oh my gosh, it's so the best. I have so much fun. But this particular product is probably one of my number one sellers. And, you know, because I deal a lot with people 40 and over, everyone who's 40 and over has some level of inflammation. Actually, even way before that, 20 and over, and you have inflammation. You probably have some inflammation before that, but probably none of it's going to bother you because you're so young and busy being happy all the time. Not that we're miserable, but it does tend to come out a little louder as you get older. But this has saved my life and a bunch of other people. So I had pulled a ligament in my knee, and this is all I use. That and the one for pain, which I don't think I can find instantaneously, or maybe I have it here. Yes, STP. These two products, amazing. But more on these later.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I got sidetracked because they were sitting here and I was looking at my hair. And again, it's growing like.
Can I just point out that I actually put the correct code in today? It's not ANKA.
I am so glad. Yeah, the last few times Marianne has literally chucked her B, just thrown it in the bucket. She was like, no, no B for me today. I've blueprinted enough to get this summit going. Well, you were like tired out. You were like,
probably, and I was probably burnt out too. And it was so unconscious, and I just put ANKA. And I'm like, I'm A, and that's all there is to it. The end. Yeah. And I'm like, twice. Take it or leave it.
Well, and I have to say, so we're doing a summit. So the last couple of days, We did sales the first day, relationships the second day.
Ooh.
Guess who that person is in like minutes. But the amount of people, like, this is what I love about it. Even after the first day, people were like, oh my gosh, like my entire life makes sense. I understand my wife. I understand my child. I understand my spouse. Like, I understand my partner, whether it's a business partner, whatever.
Yeah.
People get so many golden nuggets and like their life makes sense. And they're like, this is the best class I've ever taken ever. And for people to sit on Zoom in a training for like 7 hours and be totally energized and pumped up is like, I mean, it speaks for itself. Like people are like, this is the best thing ever.
I need to interject. One of the reasons it's so spectacular, not only is it an absolutely amazing product that you need to learn. I think everyone needs to learn this. That's my opinion. But Michelle, who is the leader of this summit, is an absolutely spectacular trainer. She is a great teacher and a phenomenal coach. This woman, I don't know what she was like before, but now she's super patient and she's not a control freak. This is what we like. This is the great thing about A's is we like that you have a personality. We want to see more of whatever it is you are. And so for me, this is obviously my code. And I didn't really acknowledge too much of this one for myself until one of the gentlemen who is a really high K was doing a presentation on this, and he said something about we like multitasking, and I'm like, oh, is that where that comes from? Because I love multitasking, and I thought it was this, and I do think that this, but I think these two together is what makes my multitasking great, and I am sick and tired. Hear me now, everyone who's listening. I am sick and tired of being told that multitasking is not good for you, that it is not the way you should run a business. I have successfully ran several businesses for a very long time. I don't need you to tell me whatever it is you learned in your class that you learned last year. I have been doing this for a very long time, and this is part of my personality, and I need stimulation. This is who we are. My brain needs to have variety to function properly. So if I'm not busy doing certain things, you cannot put me into a box and keep telling me I need to focus on one thing. Yes, focus is an absolute must. But while I'm doing real estate, I'm focused on that. While I'm doing bank, bank I'm doing all the time anyways. While I'm talking to somebody about the supplements, I'm focused on that. While I'm coaching someone, I am focused on that. So please stop telling me I need to focus. There.
Hey, Marianne, so well said. So this is what I want to touch on here, right? So me and Marianne have the same code, and these are the two pieces, right? The A and the K. Like A's need variety. We get bored super easy. We need to be stimulated. We cannot spend like we need to have variety, people.
Yes.
And our K's we can process information very quickly.
Yes.
Okay. So when you look at the way people are wired, just because something might be good for this particular code, and I'm going to use weight loss as an example, right? I told this story the other day on the training, Marianne. So I've struggled with my weight since I was a child. I've been thin. I've been extremely overweight. I was bulimic. I was anorexic. I had eating disorders. I was always buying the next thing. I can't tell you how many tens of thousands of dollars I've spent on pills, lotions, potions, equipment, all the things, right? And I finally met a coach who didn't try to put me into a box and say, you need to write down all the things you eat every day. I can't write down what I eat every day. Are you kidding me? I can't measure. I can't count calories. I tried macro counting, right? All I ate was hard-boiled eggs for like a month. I couldn't figure out what else to eat. It completely stressed me out. I needed freedom to do the things I want to do. Every 4 days, I get to eat whatever I want. Anything. Cake, ice cream, cookies, it doesn't matter. I can eat nothing is off limits. One meal, but nothing's off limits, right? I've lost 20 pounds. Mm-hmm. I've been doing this consistently. it's sustainable, but it spoke to my values and the way that I'm wired, the way that I run, like Marianne, multiple things all day. I can't meal prep. Are you kidding me? I set myself up for failure.
I can meal prep for today.
Yeah, that's about it.
Because I'm not counting any calories and I'm not writing stuff down. I'm just not doing it. It's a waste of time. If you want to properly multitask efficiently, which the busiest people are the most productive, correct? Yes, you've all heard that before. We have to give this over to someone else. And I don't need anyone to sit there and count my calories. I have a scale that I can hop on in 5 seconds, find out what happened yesterday and today and the day before and whatever, and what happened this week and what am I doing and what am I not doing. And yeah, sometimes it's water weight, but you have to know how much salt did I have, because I don't cook with a lot of salt. So if I go out, chances are I'm going to be a pound heavier the next day just because of the salt. But that's going to go away.
But Marianne, on the other end of that, right? Some people need the structure. They have to have the measuring, and they have to be able. So they function better like that. It's not right. It's not wrong. It just is. That's what they need. I need something completely different. It's the same way in the sales process and in relationships. How we communicate is everything. And we don't know what we don't know. So once we unlock the code, we now have what we need, so we can speak the language of the people. We can give the people what they need. We can see what they value, what's important to them, and how we can help impact the world more by understanding people
and create more peace in the world. Let's just talk about these two lovely personalities. So here's one that hates hugging. Do not hug this person. Ask permission. Do whatever. Do not just go up to him or her and hug. This one, don't even think about walking by her without hugging her. Don't think you're going to say hi and get away with that. Like, there's got to be a hug. There's got to be a long conversation about how's your family, how's your uncle doing is he still in the hospital? You know what I mean? Like, these are two very opposite personalities, right? Here's a Tesla driver. Here's a van driver, because the whole community is going to fit it into the car. But, there's different personalities. And if we just are aware of that, you can decide whether or not you want to give them a hug, because they need one. Doesn't always mean you have to give one, but we have to respect each other's boundaries without getting hurt. Why would you take it personal? It's not personal, it's personality, right? Right, Michelle?
Yeah, absolutely. I would love to. I was on a call the other day, and my friend knows bank, and he actually brought up different commercials, and then asked the group like what spoke to them, right? And they were all in different codes. So it was fascinating to see like how people were interpreting these different commercials and being like, yes, that's what I'm attracted to, right? One was a caravan, and people were like, the nurturing people were like, yes, I need to have a place to put my family, and we need to go on family trips, and there needs to be enough room for everyone. And there was a Mercedes commercial, and I was like, yep, that's me. The woman was decked out, A style, right? Like Lamborghini, Ferrari, Mercedes, A style, right? So when you start to look at it, and the other one's a Subaru. Right. And so you could see in real time. Yeah, exactly. Right. You could see in real time, and they would say, oh, well, I like the Subaru because it's a reliable car and the safety rating is there, and it's budget friendly. And then you would hear the other people, like the Mercedes commercial was sexy. It was sexy. Ooh, sexy. The woman was going out for the night. She was dressed in an evening gown, like all decked out with the diamonds and the jewels, and she looked amazing.
I have to tell you that I actually looked at Subarus the other day. I really like Subarus, so I don't know if that's my blueprint coming out or not. But anyways,
well, let me ask you what you like about them.
I really like the
Sifu. Oh my God, it's Sifu. Sifu. Oh,
hugs,
I'm giving
hugs,
you
hugs.
How you doing, my friend?
Exceptional, getting better every day. Better now that I saw you and saw my dear good friend Marianne. Hello, Reverend Dr. Marianne.
You know what? I was just going to say I had to put my full title in there today because right after Sifu, I am blessed today to have one of my favorite teachers. I finally reconnected with him, and I did get a reverendship with him years ago in the U.S. And he is the one that owns the company where I got my Doctor of Metaphysics. So Steve Rother will be on at 10:30 right after Sifu. I am so excited about seeing him. And I'm like, I had to put my full title in. And I wanted to mention, you were saying something about the people with the diet and how they didn't put you into a box. Well, Steve actually was the only one that ever said to me, he goes, your biggest obstacle or problem, if you had, he was a very positive man, so the way he phrased everything was much more positive than the way I'm putting it now. He goes, your only issue is that you get bored easily, and that is your only thing. Without any of this, he was just very psychic anyways. And he goes, so you got to be careful that you don't overdo it and that you don't burn yourself out. He goes, that's your only issue. That's it. But that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing. So it just depends anyway. So I'm like, oh my God, I feel so understood and seen.
Yes.
You know, that's what I feel like when I'm in this class. Like there's people and you're so accepted. And it's like, and I get excited and it's like, oh, okay. And then the other ones are quiet. They're very quiet, so they feel comfortable being this quiet. And
the three of us are not quiet, are we?
No, because we're all eight.
We aren't, and we should all get together very soon.
Yes, I'm in. Let's do it.
In person.
Oh, and Sifu, I want to reach out to you too, because I want to ask you a question about martial arts and if you know anyone in my area. So I'm going to reach out to you. We have some catching up to do anyway. I know you have some big events coming up, and he's got a great program too for healthy
events. We should go to New York one time.
I just absolutely adore Sifu, and I'm so happy I got to see you. You made my whole day.
Michelle, you're a beauty. Every time I see you, not only are you beautiful on the outside, you're beautiful on the inside.
Oh.
Amen.
Tell your husband he's a very lucky man.
I will. I'll let him know.
Michelle, I think you and I should go speak about bank at one of Sifu and Jose's events in New York. What do you think?
Let's do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll do it together. What is it? What do we get? Like a half an hour or something?
We'll make something happen.
We'll make something happen. Anyways, we're going to do that. Michelle, thank you so much. I know you have to go. You're free to stay, but I know you have to go host your own summit, which I will join you on later. Thank you so much. This was fantastic. Any final words you want to give us?
My final words are, you guys are going to love Sifu. So, so tune in, stay here, and enjoy him because he's magical.
And if you're anywhere in Pennsylvania, November 10th is when we're doing our relationship and communication seminar, right?
By the way, where do I send the check, Michelle? For that compliment. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Take care.
Thank you, Michelle. And with that, I'm not...